Free market means decentralized market in which free from government interference. So all of them are interested primarily in their own well-being. So why you want to grow wheat? Why a farmer grow wheat? Because he grows the wheat, he sells the wheat, he receives income, and he spends on his living standard, on his well-being. Right? He's growing the wheat, wheat on its own well-being, for its own interest, for its own living standards, right? So collectively, if everybody is working for its own well-being, right? So it means everybody in the society is promoting overall economic well-being. So if we have one individual who is working only for his own self-interest, and then we have another, then we have another, then we have another, then we have thousands of people working for their own self-interest, and this is a society or economy or a country. So on collective level, society is increasing its economic well-being, or their standard of living is improved, right? So Mr. Adam Smith, he observed this phenomena and he called this as invisible hand. If everybody is working for its own self-interest, for example, I'm teaching you, why I'm teaching you this? Because I get the salary, and that salary I'm going to be spending on myself, right? You are working for your own self. You are in my class for your own self-benefit, self-interest, because after graduating this bachelor, your earning gonna increase. So you are working for your own well-being. I am working for my own well-being. So if we collectively see that everybody is working for its own well-being, then whole society is working for its own well-being. So it is as somebody else is pushing you to buck up. So Adam Smith calls this phenomena invisible hand. So in the market, in a society, the prices generally are the invisible hand, right? If the price of the apple is 10 yuan per kg, how this acts as an invisible hand? The farmer of apple grower, they will say that okay, I can grow apple at 5 yuan per kg. So my profit gonna be 5 yuan per kg. Okay, I'm growing this. He is looking at the price and deciding how much to produce, how much effort he need to put in, right? Buyers, they see that okay, if the price is 10 kg per, 10 per kg, 10 yuan per kg of apple, then I will be buying. Otherwise, I will not buying. I will buy its substitute, pears or some other fruit, right? So in the market, if the price of the house is, for example, the house rent is 10,000. 10,000 yen per month. Would builders build more apartments and give it to rent? No, because in Shanghai, people can only afford individual apartment not more than 5,000. So if you are making apartment and renting out for 10,000, only one or two individuals or maybe small portion of individuals can afford 10,000 yuan a month. So they will not build more apartments in Shanghai, right? Because the consumer, those who want to rent, they only can pay 5,000. So they will be only building those type of apartments, studio apartments, which can benefit at the range of 5,000. Similarly, if the price or if the salary of a teacher is 20,000 yuan, right? It attracts only 10 teachers, right? But if the Donghua increases from 20,000 to 40,000, it attracts 1,000 teachers, right? Those who are caliber, of course, their level of requirements are also increased. Okay, he must have PhD, he must have this much publications, research articles, top quality journals like that. So people were naturally inclined to, because the price of one person's skilled labor is called salary, right? Or wages. So Adam Smith, he observed this phenomena and called this invisible hand. So by looking at the prices, right, society automatically allocates its scarce resources and would be in balance. It means everybody is working for its own interest. Collectively, society is working for its well-being. So as a result, prices guide decision makers to reach the outcomes that tend to maximize welfare of the society as a whole. So I have a very nice video. I hope this time it runs. I don't know why it's not running. Amazing. Okay, we'll talk. I'm going to send you some links, or maybe next class I'm going to be showing you small videos, not more than 2 minutes, but it's good one. Now this principle is opposite of the sixth one, in which we talk about, markets are needed to improve the market economy, right? And in which we talk about that government should not interfere because invisible hand will push the market to go up and causing the society well-being. But here, the principle number 7 says that market are, sometimes governments are sometimes needed to improve market outcomes. Why is that? So the question is, if invisible hand of the market is so great, then why we need governments? Why still we are having governments? Number one, governments are needed to impose property rights. What happened if I go to the noodle shop, I order the noodle, I eat the noodle, but I refuse to pay? So I'm powerful, and the owner of the restaurant is a weak one, physically weak one. I can overcome easily. I can just slap him and go, right? If this happens, then no noodle producer or no noodle restaurants will produce noodles or serve noodles to those who are more, who are physically powerful, or because they are not sure that whether they would be paid or not. So restaurants will not offer food until he is assured that customer will pay. And who makes sure that? Police. I'm calling the police, right? The police are the departments of governments, right? So governments are needed for efficiency and equity, right? Equity means fairness. Efficiency means producing more from, a smaller input. So market failure occurs when market fails to allocate resources efficiently. If market allocate too much resources on one side, then what happened? Other sectors collapsed. So if a government invests too much money on wheat, right? So what happened? The The government produces the society needs what 100 tons of wheat, but government allocate resources, too much resources, and what happened? The output was 1,000 tons. The government maintain 10 yuan per kg price? No, because supply is more. Government assumed that if the people produce 100 tons of wheat, then price of 1 kg gonna be 10 yuan. But instead, people produced, or the farmer produced 1,000 tons. Then the price, it creates price. We'll talk about in our next class what is supply and demand stuff. So supply increases, price goes down to 1 yuan per kg. So we call this market failure, right? So when market fails, governments are needed for efficiency, right? Some other departments, they come into play, like in our 2008 crisis, financial crisis. The US government comes to play and hard the market positions, save some banks, being bankrupt, some insurance companies, right? There was a housing bubble, if you recall. Okay. So that's why equity means fairness, like properties, rights. I own a land, so this belongs to me. So other party cannot come and kick me out and say that this is my land or this is my house. This is equity, right? Efficiency means governments allocate resources in a way that they can maximize the benefit from scarce resources. So why governments are needed? Because individual hands fails to ensure that economic prosperity is distributed equitably. This is the biggest point here. So if everybody is working for its own interest, what happened to the old people, sick people, or those who are broke? Old people, they cannot produce more. Their earning power decline. So does that mean that we should kill them because they are not working for the society? If somebody has a cancer treatment, it costs thousands of dollars. So we should not support him. So we should make some, public health, charitable institutions, right? Some public parks. If you are wealthy, you can go to the park. But if you are poor, you don't have any, any place to visit, any park to visit, right? So it means in the invisible hand, it fails. It does provide economic well-being, but prosperity is different because fairness is not here. So for fairness purposes, governments are needed, like public schools, public parks, public healthcare sectors, right? So yes, government can improve the market outcomes. Even if government is not there,